房子卡在这里吗？到现在还不知道怎么过。有声音吗？游戏有声音吗？那种游戏好像也荡掉，干嘞！啊，有声音，有声音啦！现在卡这里了。到底是哪里？
This one will regret escaping his cozy cell.
过来这样就输了。哦，不会玩。是啊，我开都开了，到底是要怎样？
This machine seems to consume a great deal of
哦，
electricity.
可以翻这个。
That should draw the attention of the guards. I should hide.
Damn it! What's going on? This way.
干，我要藏哪？啊，现在知道怎样。
That should draw the attention of the guards. I should hide.
Doctor, is that you?
Don't you worry about the doctor. Right now, he'll have plenty to keep him busy with his precious machine. It gives us time to get away. I'll undo you.
Get away? Get away where?
他会找到这
I can't go anywhere. It'll find me, like it found me here. You're mistaken about the beast. Don't stay with me, or you'll end up the same way.
医疗不
You're
够。
Sanders, aren't you? I heard you from the cell. What did they do to you? What does Fuller want with you?
The doctor? You think it's the
Right.
doctor who scares me? The doctor wants to heal me. But he's the one who's crazy. He wants to restore my sight. He wants to give me back my eyes. And yet I told him that I didn't want him. I do not
不
want
想
to
再
see
看
it
见了。
anymore. The real culprit is Sarah. Her
Sarah，
and her accursed paintings.
You're kidding me. You're talking about Sarah Hawkins.
Sarah Hawkins，
The one and only. The legendary. There is no artist more enlightened or cursed than Sarah Hawkins.
In her office, I saw signs of a ritual, perhaps an invocation.
启灵仪式
These。things, that's what makes you say she's cursed.
You're wrong. It was not an invocation, but a revocation.
送神。
But she failed. And that's what counts.
What's going on this island?
I'm so sorry. We should never have met.
What are you talking about?
Destiny! It has trapped you. Don't let it see you, or you won't be able to escape it. Don't look at it. That's how it finds you.
What finds me?
What
Sarah
finally?
Hawkins' visitor. The Shambler.
Sanders, pull yourself together.
Without her, it's no longer possible to save me.
Sasha.
傻小。Sanders.
Oh.
What the hell? I got it. Okay. This is insane. What killed him?
What killed him? 哪一边？这边。
Damn.
Damn.
The gas.
倒了。
Oh. My head.
Later. We need to move on.
警察？哦，我终于过了，卡这么久，终于。无物触手。哇，浓眉大眼。
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
I need a drink. 这也是那个家哎，对。
No. I want to know what Bradley and Dr. Colden have to say about all this.
这有没有东西？
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
感觉糟透啦。
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you
他
saw
死
a ghost.
了。
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
干，我这个也不能讲。这个我也不能讲。
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
失败。
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
Seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
你的记忆是不是不太好？你什么都不记得了。
What do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
the rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital. and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
就这样换话题。
What I'm sure of now is that
这
the
只讲过
Hawkins
了。
case isn't just an accident.
And what...
The fact
don't-
that
that's...
调查手
given
链
the，energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
我还想知道什么？
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a
现在还
disgrace.
是无煞煞，完
But
全不知
everyone
道
knows
是
the
谁啊。
Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes, I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is
看他就是
highly
个疯
respected.
子，好不好？
It's the truth, Ethan. And I'll prove it to you.
感觉这样不相
I'm
信我
listening,。Mr. Pierce.
神秘学校熟练呢，这么高，怎么可能？
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins. And that's what killed him.
What? How
为
did
什么
he
刚刚会
die?
停顿这么久？
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
他被空鬼杀死啊！他叫他空鬼。
I didn't see what. But something was there. With us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
讲啊，讲不出来。
He's right. We can't ignore the truth.
But it could drive her mad.
Better madness than ignorance. Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
移松交谈。
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
空鬼的事情。
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely
Oh,
what
yeah,
brings
Ma.
me here.
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me.
哇，不能探索。
May I inquire as to when
要
you
疯
had
狂
the
电话。
opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
你的反应倒是很平静。心理学熟练，应该可以
What happened to your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course. Thank you for your kind words. Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me. However, it will require more than that to soothe my mind. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
帮不了啊，还要测试口才，测试一下。
It's terrible what happened to your husband, but I had nothing to do with it. I was injured, and I came across him in the hospital quite by chance.
Injured? Well, I'm delighted to see you in such fine fettle, Detective. Not everybody enjoyed such a prompt recovery.
I suppose Fuller does do miracles now and again.
Luck is obviously very kind to you. Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
空鬼
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
来搜查一下。
Did she really care for him after all?
拒绝性。 学摘要，医疗要多一点。弹钢琴。
The day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives. Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even?
And
A house of artists.
啊，不是这个。
Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? She didn't want Sanders to have the painting. She must have felt devastated.
Ah, what the fuck?
The Shambler. I need to see it.
我一个没看到呢。啊，这里还有没有可以调查？
Let's see what this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
唱片。他说放话是哪一间？不知道。
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids. Each time I shut my eyes.
停了。
I can't take anymore.
哦，没有没有。
I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
"看一下我技能，我14点。 感觉心理学蛮重要的。点一下，点一下，再把心理学弄完。大师，现在是心理学大师了。 这里都熟了，空轨在哪里？哦，电脑，野兽之锤，画廊钥匙，
An old diary.
笔记。
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing. I could use one of those.
哇，我干别人的安眠药，这样可以吗？
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
I'm not here to cause trouble, if that's what's worrying you.
Worry me? Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these
我要把它
paintings.
烧光。
She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater.
没有要烧
It
光
needs someone with a network,
他
and a
不
means
叫
of
烧光。
transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy and me. And I'm far more pleasant, wouldn't you say?
还要去看空轨。这里可以躲。
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
啊，我记得这是要拿匕首干，对不对？好像只有一个是真的。
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
哦。燃油。 哪一个是真的啊？看不出来呢。对，燃油。来了。 空鬼要来呀、啊！
What the hell was that? Damn. Maybe I can use this dagger.
Oh god！ 这好像有点难的。我应该好像直接跑。
What the hell was that? Damn. Maybe I can use this dagger.
Ah， 没用。
Damn it.
好，可以直接跑。大概是哪一个是真的？查一下攻略。想一个慢慢试。 左边无法，右边无法。哇，我怎么会知道？他说是右边。右边哪里
What the hell was that?
哎，蚊子，不要来烦我！
Maybe I can use this dagger.
对吧？哎呦！试试看。错了。
Damn it!
好，可以死。
This dagger didn't work.
哪一把？死一死啊！死一死啊！真的是。它是在右边。到底是哪边？这边是右边吧？这个、啊。
Maybe I can use this dagger.
好像不是。干，太近了。
What the hell was that?
哪一把？对吧？这个好像不是。等下暂停一下，看一下。这里。
Damn. Maybe I can use this dagger.
有点近，有点近。错了。哈，右边呢？我不懂，到底在哪里？能不能直接查图片？到，那我去左边看，到右边就没有啊。
What the hell was that?
我连左边都还没办法去到。
What the hell was that?
Shit. Ah, 看不出来啊。可恶！这里的匕首应该都拿过了吧
Down. Did it hear that? Maybe I can use this dagger.
好像不是哎、要一把一把拿起来试试看。啊，没有来到。
This dagger looks different.
嗯，至少一种看起来不一样。可以了吧？哦，有嘞。感觉我在左边啊，现我攻略。意外很简单嘞，只要超级绕大圈就可以过了，空位完全追不上。动手。
What's the matter with you?
没有动手，我疯了。
You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
哎，我神秘学不够，遭到一种生物攻
I was
击。
attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
I ran, screamed, broke a pane of glass.
我打碎不止一扇玻璃，好不好？他妈打碎超
If
多
I hadn't， heard
一把一把拿起来看。
I'd still be in the other room. The door was blocked. I got in as soon as I could. I like to look after my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I've still got things to settle with Irene.
什么都不讲，就这样离去。第7章， 哦，有血。
Where's the bookseller? Freud's The Interpretation of
梦的
Dreams.
解析。
It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century. An old diary.
黑水岛历史第2册。哦，加医疗很好。这有绿绿的东西。
What a strange amulet. I have a feeling I'd better not touch it.
怪的护符。解剖学第1册。嗯，目前感觉不出来这边要干嘛。
What happened here? Let's start over. Where did they break in from? Blood. Seems like amateur work.
And 对。
To whom does this footprint belong? This burglar seems to be rather clumsy. What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work? What killed all these animals?
Ayo.
What the... Charles Hawkins? Looks like the symbol rejected Hawkins. Where did I see it? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess?
Ah, what the fuck?
Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
And 前面那个小偷嘞？啊？
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
哦，这个我记得很麻烦。
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills? What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
这个能不能直接？
Arkham editions.
哇塞！
Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions.
Arkham Edition.
How many volumes are there in this collection? Another volume by Arkham Editions. Arkham Editions. Never heard of him. How many volumes are there in this collection?
一堆 Arkham Edition。
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
可以直接暴力解吗？实在不想调查。
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind
Helena
Helena Blavatsky's theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion. Things are not looking good. A kind of chalice.
看文字不要在我眼前。哦，文字。
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never
我
tire
看到
of
密码
browsing
答案
through
了
them.
539，直接过，我已经看到答案。啊，懂。开了，直接看攻略。研读神秘学。哦。第8章过蛮快的，因为我直接看攻略，完全不会有卡关问题。他的精神被投射到另一具身体当中。
This man's condition is deteriorating.
What says Dr. Fuller? It's his patient, after all.
He's busy with Captain Fitzroy. He specifically asked us not to bother him when that's the case.
Oh, of course. I'll see what I can do. Mr. Blake,
玛
can you
丽
hear me?
寇尔登
I'm Dr. Colden. We'll take care of you.
There's nothing we can do. I tried talking to him. He's catatonic.
Very well. I'll examine him. Severe malnutrition. Swollen abdomen with traces of petechia. Doesn't seem like an edema. Slight protuberances seem to indicate the presence
异物
of a
存在。
foreign body.
哎呀，产卵！我怎么会讲出这种话？
30-year-old subject. Severe hypothermia. Erythematous papules around the eyes and eardrums. Necrosed palpebral tissue. Lord, this smell. His skin shows abnormal loss of color.
脱水
It seems dried out. He's totally dehydrated. His fingertips and toes seem to feature a slight ring under the skin. Tender at the touch. Slightly sticky.
So,
Sticky.
Doctor, an
没有看
opinion?
法。
I'm not sure I have the necessary knowledge
干，
to
你
treat
好
this
烂哦！
man.
Don't say that. You're our most worthy doctor after Dr. Fuller.
Some of his symptoms are beyond my comprehension.
What did you find?
他肚子有东西，产卵。
Did you examine his abdomen? It
产
would
卵。
seem there's something inside.
He hasn't eaten in days. Are you certain it's not an edema?
No. Can't you recognize an edema? Pushing with your finger won't leave a trace. And look at these bumps.
It's not like he could
真
be
的是产卵。
pregnant.
Whatever it is, this man has something inside him that shouldn't be there. We should operate on him at once.
Dr. Fuller said not to worry, that the edema would go away
他
by
想要
itself.
生下来。
You know, I'm not sure Dr. Fuller is telling the
除了
truth.
就是个疯子。
In spite of the muscle contractions, his arms seem limp.
Yes. They can't have decalcified, not at this rate.
And yet, if there is a bone in this arm, it's softer than that of a newborn baby. What about his cranium?
It's soft at the touch. It does seem like the skull of a baby.
Look at these sticky rings growing at his fingertips. What can be happening?
I'm sure you'll find an explanation. You have to.
I see signs of hypodermoclysis, but he's still dehydrated. When was his last IV?
He's constantly under perfusion. I've even gone beyond the recommended dose to no avail. And you won't believe me, but when we bathed him earlier...
He seemed to feel better?
Yes. Like he needs an aquarium, not a perfusion.
他在被转
That
换中，
doesn't explain his condition.
身体正在变异。
I almost don't believe it myself, but these symptoms are not those usually
你一个医
associated
生可以讲出这
with
么
the human
神秘
species.
学的话，也是很屌
What。do you mean? Don't tell me you believe in extraterrestrials.
No. This poor man is from our world, all right. But his body is undergoing unnatural mutations. And this transformation is killing him. His body simply can't cope.
Where could he have gotten such an infection?
I pray that it's not here.
Dr. Colden, may I know what you're doing to my patient?
What I'm doing? How about what you've done to him?
Let us calm down, my dear Marie. I don't appreciate your tone, nor your insinuations. I've done to him what I do to all my patients. Provide him with the best available care.
Your imagination is without limit. It's your homemade drug again, is it not? Those people are not your guinea pigs.
There, there. What have you seen to put you in such a state?
His limbs? His body temperature? I don't know what experiments you've undertaken, but this is going too far.
Oh, I sense some excitement beneath your indignation. Could it be you wish to join me in my scientific
征收人
endeavors?
才。
You are a brilliant physician, Dr. Fuller, but this man has the attributes of some kind of animal.
Fascinating. An animal, you say?
Animal.
Could you be more precise? Cephalopod, perhaps?
This amuses you.
Your reaction does. I know your thirst for knowledge, Doctor. It's your innocent worries for this man that have you overreacting.
For this man, and the others whose medical files you've been hiding.
I have to protect my discovery. These people owe me their life, but the world isn't ready yet. It will be, in time.
I will not let you do this.
You disappoint me, Marie, but I still have hope you'll one day share my point of view. In the meantime, take care of your own patients and try not to forget who you're dealing with.
Was that a threat? What did he
是在
mean?
威胁吗？
It was a warning. Dr. Fuller is this institution's founder, and one of our profession's most influential voices. My word is of no weight against his. If I continue to protest, I will only ruin my reputation and career.
It's scandalous. Can't we do anything? Is there no evidence of his crimes?
I disapprove of Fuller's methods, but his treatments have saved more lives than I can count.
And Mr. Blake? You said yourself he was dying.
I don't know what to think for now. What I'm sure of is that Fuller is hiding something from us. And I need to know what that is before I take a chance exposing him.
And where would you find those? In his office? What if you get caught?
I'd rather not think about that. I'm counting on your discretion.
Of course, Doctor. You can count on me. I'll keep mum.
An unknown medicine. Judging by the other ones, it causes heavy side effects. This place draws you in and never lets you go.
No, you're pulling my leg. I'm not joking. I saw the schedule. She's alone in the bathroom again. And she still says nothing to that old woman. It's Donovan.
Oh, listen to the way you talk, you naughty girl. And the
Kitchen.
Gentlemen, may I help you?
We're waiting on news regarding our mother, Maureen Harding. She came in with a kidney problem, but we haven't heard anything since.
I'm sorry. Dr. Fuller is a very busy man.
Well, is there anyone else who can tell us what's going on?
She's our only family, you know? And we can't even see her medical file.
I'm sorry, but I don't have time for this right now.
They're taking us for fools.
去富勒办公室啊！富勒办公室在哪 ？Block B。看不懂。
Let's hope I can go through the administration office.
Wait a minute. Where do you think you're going?
进去。
Dr. Colden.
Mrs. Donovan.
Nobody goes into Dr. Fuller's office. But rest assured, I'll tell him you came by.
That won't be necessary. Thank you.
I will tell him, nonetheless.
激发人。
I have little time for you, Doctor. You'll find out that it's not only the... Wait a
次要
minute.
目标
Where do you think you're going?
啊，还是要。
Dr. Colden.
Mrs.
No, but rest. I...
好，分散他目标，我要干嘛？啊，那两个病人是不是？我帮帮他吗？去看一下就看一下。嗨，警官。
Ethan.
Marie,
What are you doing here?
I'm waiting for my medication, of course. Why?
我心理学大师哎，当然要用一下。
You're not here for treatment, right?
Am I so obvious?
Only to me. I know you worry about me.
I trust you. I'm happy to see you.
Me too, Ethan. Is that all?
不能请他帮忙
Well,
吗？
there might be something else. I'm not sure.
Tell me.
I have nightmares. They keep me awake every night. It seems stupid, I know, but they're terrible.
Actually, you're not the only one.
No. No one has ever seen the things I see. It's like I'm turning mad.
So many people have this affliction. It's like an epidemic.
Do you think it might be related to Fuller's work?
I don't know yet, but I will figure
所以
all
我
this
需要
out.
你帮忙。
Everyone in Darkwater is suffering from
快讲
nightmares.
Really?
We don't have any medication left.
Oh. There's no
God.
excuse then. I should let you work.
Take care, Ethan.
You too, Marie.
我怎么分散他注意？
I don't get why they have us waiting so long. Almost no patients here.
是我的问题。
Gentlemen, may I help you?
We're waiting on Shike. Well, is
she's?
Don't worry, but your mother is in good hands. I'll tend to her myself, and keep you informed at once. Would that suit you?
Well, that sure sounds great to us, Doctor. Thank you.
But those are just words, so we're not budging.
Very well. At least I'll know where to find you.
没办法，还是只能一间一间查。
Patients and hospital personnel eat the same food.
Watch out for the water, Doctor.
Everybody says it. She's a witch.
这里怎么这么空？这里是干嘛用的？好懂，分散他的注意力。
I don't have any business in the boiler room. We're running out of this medicine.
I know, Doctor. We sent the purchase order, though, but Mrs. Donovan refused it.
Once again.
Can't you do anything?
Donovan takes her instructions directly from Dr. Fuller. I'm afraid I can do nothing about it for the moment.
没有。男性犯罪学。
We've been waiting to be restocked for weeks.
没有药了。 到底要怎么分散他注意力？
Everybody says it. She's a witch, an old hag. I didn't make this up.
Elizabeth? You all right? Why is this room in such a state?
Because, as always, I'm cleaning it by myself. And the water was once again shut off this morning. I had to bother Mrs. Donovan again, giving her a new excuse to belittle me.
Come now. Don't let that witch sap your morale. We're lacking in qualified personnel, and she knows it. Her petty punishments won't last forever.
I'm trying, Doctor. I'm trying. It's just that sometimes I imagine she shuts down the water herself, just for the pleasure of harassing me.
Her time is much too precious for these kind of petty games.
Anyway, I've learned my lesson. I'll hold my tongue next time.
Courage, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Doctor.
切断水源。哦，这是我要做的事。终于有点进展。
The answers must be hidden in Fuller's office. Chronic insomnia, like half the island.
Doctor, please. My chest. Oh.
His perfusion of a semi-physiological solution doesn't seem to work. He's undergoing a ventricular fibrillation. Nurse? Deborah, come and help me, please. His potassium level is too high. Replace it with 2% glucose solution with insulin, calcium, and sodium bicarbonate.
I'll tend to it right away.
Thank you. He's in your hands. Hay fever. What's he doing here? He broke his back in an accident down by the docks.
没有，很想帮这些有的没有的。
Mrs. Sanders?
藏德斯夫人也在这。
Why did nobody tell me about her admission? Intoxication from breathing organic vapors.
他妈妈在，他们那两个人妈妈在哪？哪一个啊？
So, Doctor, have
I'm sorry, but
they're taking.
不知道他妈妈在哪，更不知道。先休息一下，现在头有点痛。我能不能存档？不知道上个检查点在哪里。算了，应该没有差多远了。现在我头有点痛，休息一下。我要去躺一下了。